anything that's happening in Russia is probably way more hardcore than anything happening in America.
Let's do it!
Russians are so hardcore. You know, like, we've been, like, watching some of your dash cams. I saw a guy on one of those driving a bathtub down the highway in his underwear. I saw videos of Russians climbing the side of the building and just hanging off. I have seen videos of people falling off buildings into the snow, get back up and do it again.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
We are under the impression that Russians are seriously hardcore. And that, at least for me, my joke was that Russians in general, I have to say specifically Russian men, are mythological creatures that have somehow broken into our world, our dimension, and continue to do amazing things. Americans are notorious for the Soviet Russia jokes. Are starting to no longer do them. We still do them. Now we're no longer, we're trying to be a little bit more PC, I guess. So now it's just, in Russia, you don't watch TV. TV watches you. We pretty much think you guys are pretty awesome. We think you guys are like superhuman in some ways. At least entertainment-wise. To entertain ourselves when it comes to Russian stereotypes, that has to be one of my favorites, actually. I know I do it all the time, and I don't do it to be serious. I do it to joke, because I just think that those kind of things are just really awesome. But yeah, we pretty much think that you guys are really, really tough. And it's really, really awesome. And so basically, like I said before, we would probably want a Russian guy on our team if we were trying to defend ourselves against the zombie apocalypse. Because they must have superhuman powers. They can defy gravity, climb walls. It's just amazing what the fictional Russian can do. And maybe not so fictional. I've seen some crazy videos from Russia. And I know you're not all like that, but dear Lord. All the men do that silly little Cossack dance.
Get with this.
not a crime. Jump style. It's a lifestyle.
I think this is a Slavic thing in general. So we tend to think that Russian men all do that corny little Cossack dance. I'm sure some do. Some can probably do it and do it great. But yeah, we are pretty much under the impression that that's what Russians do. Russians are the last airbenders. Okay, you guys defy some serious gravity. Some of these dances are just so awesome to watch. And they look so impossible. If I even attempted some of these things, I'd fall over and probably pull something.
Let's do this.
Now, I know there's other dances too. Like, I know that Russians are known for ballet and composing awesome music, and I do enjoy that. We pretty much think that you guys defy gravity, and we are enthralled by this magical power that you have.
I will need to use my powers to get inside. Wind!
After eating a meal, you have to belch really loud. This one. Okay, I have not seen this one anywhere recently. This is one that was told to me years ago. And I was really curious. Now, I have never spoken to anyone from Russia before. But several months ago, I met my first friend in Russia. And I thought it was awesome. So I wanted to ask him as many questions as I could. Poor kid, he was just a teenager. I think he's like 16. I'm, asking him all these questions. And he's like, I don't know. Stop asking me questions. I don't know how to answer you. So I was told years ago, like when I was in school, when I was not even 16, when I was even younger, I think it was before I even hit my teens, or maybe shortly after. I don't even remember. But someone told me that if you are eating at somebody's house in Russia, it is considered polite to belch after you are finished. The louder you belch, the more the cook likes it, because it complements the cooking. I have heard of this being a thing. This was a thing in other countries that I heard of too. And I've seen like some kind of video or something on it, but it was somewhere else. But I had heard that this was a thing in Russia. And this was something I had to know. I'm writing a novel that takes place in Russia. And I really wanted to get to know the culture. So I had to know, is this a thing? Because if it is a thing, I have to write it. If it's not a thing, I'm not writing it. When I mentioned this, his reaction was hilarious. He's like, no! Oh my God, no, we don't do that. Why would you even think that? Who would say something like that? That's horrible. He was appalled. And I found that hilarious, actually. I'm like, I'm sorry. I had to ask, because how else would I know? I would have never known. I really would have thought that if I didn't ask. So that was a more amusing stereotype that I had to share with you. And I don't know how popular it is, but there are a few of us who think that, because that was what we're told. Unless we're all told by the same people, In which case, that guy needs to shut up, because that was a very entertaining reaction.
Barb again. Attaboy, come on. That's wonderful, Charlie.
Everybody's corrupt, and bribery is totally A-okay.
Of apology, I can offer you my personal courtside seats for the Knicks game with access to the Ambassador Club.
Come on, Knicks! Come on! I got Knicks fever! It's catching!
Hey, this feels weird sitting here. It feels like it's a bribe. It is a bribe.
This one is an interesting one. I was reading a travel guide for Russians coming over to America. So I'm beginning to wonder how much this actually how true this is. I know it's not, I don't know. I don't know. I'm curious because of what I read in this travel guide. And in the travel guide, it said not to bribe our cops. Don't bribe our police officers over here. And that basically bribery is frowned on in America. Do we really need to tell you that? That's weird. I mean, we all know that, there are people in America that are corrupt. We do know that bribery happens. But we're pretty much under the assumption, bribery is pretty illegal, and if you're caught, you're in big trouble. So it's really frowned on, and it's not something we do publicly, and it's not something that's common. I mean, I guess it's common in some places, but I don't know. That just seems weird. We don't really talk about it. So it was kind of odd to read that basically, if we're in Russia and we get pulled over by a cop, we are given the option by the police officer that we can either get our ticket, that he is going to write us a ticket, or we can give him a bribe, and then he'll walk away. Is this a thing? Is this really a thing in Russia? Or tell me it's not a thing. Is this a thing? No, it can't be a thing. This is not a thing. And if it is a thing, it's not like a thing. Like, this just like happens once in a while. Like, in America, this only happens once in a while. Like, this is just, one of those uncommon crazy occurrences. This isn't something that like really happens all the time, is it? No, really, tell me. This isn't a thing. Is it